I think we're going to be okay.
This is perfect.
And it's going to give me so much play this way.
Yeah.
And it's going to allow for the tire, for that little bit of bulge right here,
yeah.
which is fine. And the skirts fit,
yeah.
which is good. Hey, what's up everybody? Good to see y'all. Welcome back to the channel. We got another great episode for you. We're going to be back in the shop here down at TBrad Fabrication shop. We're going to be working on the blocking of the 86 Ranger, and he's going to be working on the rear end and the stuff for the 55 Pontiac Lowrider and Aftermath. But first, in a previous episode that you saw, the last episode probably, we went out to go pick up a rear end for mock-up for the back of the 55, and we were outside of town here where he lives, and we were driving by a field, and out of nowhere he noticed that there was a ton of what looked like geese in the one field, and there was probably 1,000 of them, but it turns out that they're Tundra swans. And there's a whole Facebook group down here dedicated to this little patch of land outside of Springfield and Tillsonburg that is dedicated to the Tundra swans of Tillsonburg. And it was unbelievable. As much as I'd love to have my drone and throw it up on them, I could only imagine if they decided to take off, it would just blanket the sky. So we're just coming out here before we go to the shop to see if they're here right now. And I think this is where they were yesterday. Are they? Nope. Where'd they go? It's tough to see. They got a good blanket of snow down here yesterday. It was all brown yesterday because there was no snow, but man, we've got them. We've actually, I turned the camera quickly on them because we noticed them, and I spun the camera around, so I'm going to throw that clip in here now. Curves in about an inch to where you unhook it, and I don't need it getting close to the tire. Look at all the swans out there. Good God. Oh my God, look at them all. Look at them all. Look at the, what the hell?
Sorry, we got
man. Usually it's Canada's gooses that are out there.
Those are Canada's fucking goose.
But that's full of swans out there today.
Swans.
I've never seen 1,000 swans all in one spot before. That's crazy. All right.
Anyways.
Well, anyways, we just saw swans, so we're pretty excited now. That just made the day. And we left, went and did this rear end, picked it up, brought it back, came back on the other side of the side road, and the field was loaded on the far side. I've never seen anything like it. So I might try to come out here later at lunchtime, maybe when it warms up, and see if they're back. But apparently everybody knows about them, and apparently it's quite the sight to see. So I've never seen anything like it. Not that many, not in one spot. That was insane. Like Canada geese filling a field, but gigantic tundra swans, which was awesome. So anyway, we're gonna turn around, we're gonna head back to the shop. We got a great episode for you today. We're gonna get some blocking done. We're gonna get some more progress done on the Ranger and get it ready for mini nats, and we're gonna continue on the 55 as well. Thank everybody for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Appreciate all the love and everybody following along on all these journeys. We got some big stuff coming. January 2025, we've got a special thing with Street Trucks Magazine coming out, so stay tuned for that. For now, we don't see any swans. Schwans. Stop looking at me, Schwan.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Okay, let's go do some body work.
A few moments later.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have an issue because I can't go any lower.
Well, your axle's in your frame already. So you're technically not going any lower.
And I've only got an extra, what, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch in drive shaft area?
You're gonna need a different U-joint.
Is it a little loose?
Oh yeah, it's loose.
Yeah, that's fine.
We can figure a conversion U-joint.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
I'm guessing somebody somewhere has done a 55 Chevy with an S10 rear end.
With an S10 rear end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's been done before. Splicer makes all of them.
So, and we're pretty centered. Like, I think
the wheels are actually centered right back in the wheel well.
And you have like,
oh, I got plenty of room. My stainless trim isn't going to hit now on anything. when it's buried in.
Pull them out, just get them out of the way.
I would just pull them out and get them out of the way. Then if we want to build the cross brace,
Yeah, and
we
then-
can weld all that up into place and structural it.
But I think we're where we need to be.
I think we're good.
S10.
S10. S10. Out of everything.
This S10 axle saved us from shortening and getting new axles.
Yeah.
So now all we need to do is come up with a link setup.
Yep. And these old links we won't worry about using. This was the part that we were worried about.
Yes, we were worried about getting the wheels in there because, like I said,
Yeah.
shortening this was into new axles.
And I did have a guy in the comments in 2 videos ago about the rims that you use a G-body rear end and things like that, but the G-body rear end's the same size as my stock rear end and it doesn't do us any good. Or guys with the bombs, they actually use an offset on a 5-on-5 and they do an offset, and they use a 14x7 and they do an offset. But I don't want to get into doing an offset, and the main reason is, number one, I don't like how they look, but if I want to rotate my tires because of the amount of driving I do, I don't want to have 2 rims I can't put on the front because they're offset and they look weird. And then my back ones won't fit on here anyways. So I need all 4 of these to fit so then I can rotate, because I'm not 3-wheeling or anything, so I can just rotate my tires like I always do every season, and I get longevity out of them.
And also, like we said, parts for this S10 rear end.
Oh yeah, parts. Plentiful. Yeah. Yeah, I can buy whole other rear ends just to have spares. So, and disc brake conversions and everything else. So, yeah, I think that's going to be
That's our ticket.
that's the ticket. All right, well.
Now we just have to, all that's left is everything else.
All that's left is the rest of it. All right, rear end's on the ground. We just left the rims and tires on it for now, pulled it out of the car. So now at this point, we know exactly what we needed. This rear end out of 1st gen or a 2nd gen S10 is going to work perfectly. So there's not much difference between the 55 rear end and this S10 rear end, which is really good. This one's just 54 inches. That's obviously way wider at like 59/60. We end up having enough clearance between the back of here and the inner fender well, which is really good. And that works out well because whether I do, Jay, who has this axle and is selling me the other one, has a whole set of disc brakes and everything for it, which is awesome. So we're going to be good that way. If I want to finish off the disc brake conversion, because this car's got full disc brakes up front, power brakes. But we should be good. So now it's a matter of, we kind of have an idea of how we want to build the link bars for the lowers. We're going to do a little bit of support work for the upper structure going across the top. Get that tied in for the tops. Make sure that all that's safe and secure. We'll do the 2 links. We'll run the pan hard bar back again. Everything in this car ran straight. It ran beautiful. It's solid. So we're going to try and find the same heim joints that are in these links up here because they're really, really nice and they don't wear out. And we should be good to go. So it'll be making up those. And then once we have that, then we can do the back of the shocks, which is going to come off the back of the perch. And the drive shaft is going to fit perfectly. I just need to get another U-joint to match this rear end to that one, to that axle, and we're good. So I'm covered in grease, and I'm going to move some stuff around in here to make some room because I have to bring all my stuff in out of the van, bodywork-wise, and get ready and set up because I want to start this thing and get started on the 86 Ranger. If you saw that in the last video, I'll put a thing right here for it. This is the one that we're getting started on. Trevor's gone ahead and got everything pulled off, all this. He's got some welding to do up in here yet. This is all off, so I can start blocking this now and get this primer cut. It has been on here, sealed in now for a while, which is good. And there's no issues, no rust, no nothing. We walked them all through it last year from bare steel up and everything's good. He's got consoles all welded now. In that last video, you would have saw all the Cleco pins all mounted in, but now everything's all mounted, secure, it's tight, 3D printed for his shifter gate, and then this is all done, ready to go. The custom dash, the mix of a 65 Chevy 2 and this part of the Ranger piece to give it a nice profile. So those are the 2 only raw things we have to do other than the rad cradle when it comes time. So my goal is to get this thing cut open and blocked down 180 to 220, check for any low spots, check for any little tiny things, go over it, make sure we're good, and then I can start the finishing process from there and get it ready for color. Mini Nats 2025 is only a few months away, so why not try to take on all of this stuff all at once? But we're starting in December. We actually started in November, but we're starting now in December full time, and we've got till April to have this stuff ready to go. And Mini Nats is a blast, so we definitely want to make sure we're ready for that. We don't want to miss a week's worth of cruising in Maggie with everybody. So these will be done. This isn't major now. We've got a plan figured out, and Trevor's going to be able to knock this thing out, no problem. I'm not going to have an issue with this thing, hopefully, as we move along. Everything's really good, and the work done to it has been done very well. So make sure you check out some more videos. Watch for this next edit that comes out. See you in the next one.